and I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night." It's July, baby! Christmas in July.
Woo!
Are we at half? Is
July?
This is over half Christmas.
It's almost there, yeah.
Yeah.
Over half Christmas. I don't
Over
think I've
half
ever
Christmas.
heard that statement before.
Well, it's pretty close to Christmas, so Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
with that, especially with that intro.
Well, I mean, given how upside down this entire year has been going already, why not?
Dude, I saw a picture with a bald eagle and a shark in its talons flying.
It's probably what really happens nowadays.
No, I saw the video.
You saw the video.
I saw the video.
So, so we've got all this great, and we have flying
real
sharks
to
now.
me, actually, it looked really. It was crazy.
It's the real Sharknado is coming. It doesn't.
I have Alien Invasion for October for 200.
That's in. All right. Yeah. How about just visit? Does it have to be an invasion?
I'm not sure they're going to visit. I think they're going to stop, check everything, and be like, you know what?
Get the fuck
Good.
out. This is ridiculous. Yeah. This is a shit show
Alien
here.
Invasion might be like, you guys have messed up on your own. We don't want.
Or maybe they just come to get pork rinds. You know, we're just a truck stop for them. So they're just coming by. They need to get a couple maps.
Pork rinds and to relieve themselves.
Yep.
Are we we're like the Waffle House of inner space. Would you say that?
That's not a bad thing to be.
Not a bad thing. I
House.
like Waffle House. I don't know.
I've been in a Waffle House.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
The
Yep.
Waffle House.
Yes. So, all right. Well, hey,
Reggie Hamilton.
we're the Big Bottom.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait. We have sponsors. That's right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
John.
Let's start with the coffee because the second one is a good lead into our guest.
Ooh.
Mm.
Always thinking, John. I like it.
I got the old brain cap on today.
Got a big brain on Jonathan.
Yeah, we have a
Golden State
Golden State Roasters. Big shout out to Ross.
Ross.
One heck of a bass player in his own right, too.
Yummy, yummy. Please use the code Big
Yes.
Bottom.
I tried I don't have it here. I already destroyed the Ethiopian blend that you
Oh, you
originally
did?
sent me. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And even did my first round at cold brew using it.
Love it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it really brought out a lot more flavor in the cold brew, but still the regular roast was just fantastic hot. So
Yeah. It's all of their stuff is good. Goldenstate.coffee is their website. And if you use Big Bottom 15 promo code, you get a discount. So use that. And also it is valid in their store. So if you're in anywhere in Orange County area, they have a facility, a poorhouse over here in Old Town Placentia. So you can walk in and give that code. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, good people
Bottom
there.
5.
What's that?
Big bottom 1-5.
Yeah, and little swag. I got a cool little tumbler with the
Nice little tumbler.
yeah, and I got it for an extra good deal. So Golden State Coffee, shout out. All right, and then who's our next one? Next sponsor?
That would be A Designs Audio.
Mm.
Beautiful audio hardware. The KGB.
KGBs. We got the Ready, the Ventura, and Tony, you've got a Ready.
Yeah, I got it ready. And then I'm going to mess this up over here. Oh, there's the
Oh, the Pacifica.
Pacific.
Nice.
Ignore the mug on top of it right now.
Well, the nice thing is Reggie has been an A Designs artist and consultant, and
The liaisons for them, really, in a way.
yeah, and he talks about the regular Ready is the red version. They're coming out with the Ready Black, which is going to be a limited run.
Based after the SVT.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Based after the SVT, actually.
Correct. Yeah, the red Ready is kind of a B15-ish, and then the Ready Black is going to be more of an SVT. kind of sound. But, you know, I mean, who hasn't seen a Reddy in a studio? I mean, it's kind of like, it's staple. So
Yep.
Sounds
we're,
good, man. So thick.
yeah, yeah, it's all, it just makes stuff sound better. And for tons of instrument, doesn't have to be bass, it can be guitar, keys. We've all used it on a lot of stuff, vocals, you know.
Mhm.
And it's adesignsaudio.com is the website. So big shout out, love to Montesi, A Designs crew. These guys are the best.
I've never heard a better tube DI.
No,
Flat
I,
out. Flat
I
out.
think I think that when the Reddy came out, everybody was trying to emulate the Reddy, and they still are. I think that's one of those models and things that people try to copy. And you know, we in the podcast with Reggie, we talk about copying, and you know, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, the Reddy's still one of the top ones. Nothing sounds
For
like
sure.
it. Yeah, yeah. So, all right. And who's our guest?
Oh, Reggie Hamilton.
Reggie Hamilton.
Ooh, yeah.
A name that really needs no introduction,
No.
and just an encyclopedic knowledge of, like, not even just the bass community at large, just some of the names he was throwing out for us to check out. Like, we've got a killer list of must listen to now.
He gave us homework.
Yeah, he gave us homework, but we were glad to get it.
Oh,
That's the kind of teacher he is.
And afterwards, I got a little homework where I got to practice with a pick.
Yep, and Steve's got to practice with a pick now.
I'm inspired. But talk about, again, just one of the nicest guys and his knowledge
Super nice,
base.
super knowledgeable, and like
Whoa.
talented too. My God.
Yeah. The people he's played with, sessions that he's done. I mean, if you're not familiar, please just Google Reggie Hamilton bass, just to see the people he's played with, recorded with is, I mean, he's, you know,
Insane.
It's insane. Like top, yeah, one of the best. And he's just amazing. Great player. I like that. I like that he had the bass and he got to play. I was like, yeah, it sounded so good, man. Yeah. And his signature bass is pretty.
Too. He's just, you know, he picks up his boom. I mean,
Yeah.
Here. Yeah.
And I love his recording advice, you know, how he talks about, because he's one of the top session guys, and really, really informative, really just fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to check. If you haven't heard much about him, like, you got to listen now, man. I mean, just hear him, because he's low key. I don't think there's a ton of interviews on him. And
I would suggest, honestly, because of how many recommendations he throws out and things, take notes.
Yeah.
Like, this seriously is one of those few interviews I would sit there and take notes just for some of the stuff he's mentioning to check out yourself.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. It's incredible. Yeah, so couldn't be more thankful to have him on, and you know, at the same time, big shout out to Pete Montesi. Peter kind of facilitated this and got us in contact, and that was, you know,
and we love Peter. You know.
Yeah, big shout out. How are you guys holding up? You guys doing well?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah. Doing great.
Yeah. Anything new? New stuff? New things?
Had a great writing session with Mr. Joe Filoni today, and then rehearsal with Terry tomorrow.
Nice. I sold Joe a couple of amps the other day.
He's telling me all about it. We're going to do like a rig rundown with that, probably when we're waiting for cables from Tsunami. So he's got a whole new rig, and it's going to sound
Really?
Yeah, he's got a whole new rig he's building.
Wow.
So in the Dig by Terry's the material, I wrote this new tune called 14 Kisses, and we're gonna introduce Zeke to it tomorrow. So I'm really happy. We're building this record organically, like 60s, 70s, 80s, like slowly doing it where we're at.
And I also have to say that we have new bumper music. So the first 10 was a little thing I came up with. The next one is actually John Moody. That's an original. So
nice.
Yeah, so what you heard on starting with 11 with Murphy Cargus, and this going through, you know, 10 episodes, we've got some freaking rad music by our own John Moody. Sounds killer, dude. I love it,
man.
Yeah.
A little fun here and there when we can.
It's cool. And then I did a little recording with this. I had a session and I used
Nice.
the roasted neck SB2.
Awesome.
And it sounded great. Turned out good. And I'm liking the combo of ash, regular ash body, non-roasted, and the roasted neck.
Nice.
I kind of like that combo now.
That's my next thing.
Where I was very anti-roasted about, a year ago. It's kind of nice to have.
Hmm.
So, and that's what you have a bass coming like that, right, Tony?
I do. I have a TP5 that's different. This will be my third TP5.
Nice.
And it's a roasted neck, roasted maple.
Yeah.
With the gloss finish on it, so it's
Cool.
kind of really darker. I like the gloss.
You like the gloss, yeah.
Body. So,
Nice. And then John,
look at John, like.
yeah. Who is that again?
Yeah.
Better Mousetrap?
Better Mousetraps guitars out of Ypsilanti.
Okay.
Yep. Matt's done some stuff for Breaking Benjamin and Taproot.
Okay.
Oh, you
So-
work with Taproot, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I've known Matt for quite a while. So it was just kind of this spring we kicked ideas around for a long time and finally pulled this trigger right early March.
Cool.
So
He's a cool guy. I like hanging out with him. Actually.
Matt's very cool. Very cool guy. And so last picture I got, he carved, I think, the neck profile going into the single cut part of the body.
Nice.
So it's getting close because I know the frets and everything are on. I think it's probably at this point we're getting to hardware.
Oh.
So
Wow. It's already finished, like the finishing on it, or is it does still need to?
I think he's probably got to do that, but I'm guessing it's just like hand rubbed whatever.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything because it's just top's a highly figured piece of walnut he found, and then it's an ash body. So
Sweet.
What's the string spacing on that?
I think we went for 19.
Oh,
Wow.
very cool.
Steve style.
I mean, that's what I have. I mean, even on my 6 and my 7, I think are 19.
Big. Yeah. That's awesome, man. When are they looking to finish it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I could guess looking at the pictures and things, maybe end of summer, but I mean,
Well,
who knows?
we'll definitely have to show it off on the show
Oh, definitely.
for sure. So cool. All right, boys. Well, that was episode 12.
Episode 12.
We've got 12, guys.
Man, Next-
Madness. I'm gonna raise
next
my-
week we're going to be teenagers.
Woo! We're gonna get into the teenage years. So,
Yep.
all right. Who wants to sign off? Someone sign us off.
Tony?
John.
Oh, okay.
Nobody picked me. Sign us off.
Me? I guess I'm going to send us off. I guess I'm sending us off. Check out Reggie Hamilton. Thanks so
Reggie
much.
Hamilton.
Reggie Hamilton in the Big Bottom.
Big Bottom, episode 12. Enjoy it, folks.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to
Hey.
the Big Bottom podcast chat, and we have the very awesome Reggie Hamilton with us today.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining, man, and great meeting you finally.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Pleasure, man. Thanks for having me. The gas.
So, are you out on the West Coast where I'm at? Where are you at?
yeah, I'm in LA.
Okay. In LA, yeah, I'm in Orange County.
Fine town.
Yes, well, LA is a fine town also. And then we have the East Coasters.
Right?
Yeah, I'm in Boston. If you can't tell by this bad accent, right?
Fine town.
Yeah.
Land of legal seafood.
Yeah, yes. Everyone knows legal out here. Yeah.
And John,
I'm in the smack in the Midwest in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh, right on.
Hmm?
yeah.
Right on. Kalamazoo. What's that, GHS?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
John is GHS.
I've been told that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. DHS, right?
Yeah. All of us kind of work.
Oh, John,
in-
we talked through email before.
Oh yeah, I think we have. Okay. Yep.
Trying to find a particular Steinberger string.
Oh right. Hmm.
It's not long enough for some reason. Oh well.
Oh, Jo-
C'est la vie, c'est la guerre.
Oh, John will find them or make them.
Not right now. We're busy. We are
Yeah.
busy.
GHS is probably humping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Yeah, we luckily, from where, when everything started slowly opening up, I think we got about 2 months ahead of everybody else in reopening
Smart.
in terms of like string companies and things. And while the boss thought, at the onset in March that everything was just going to grind to a halt, it never did.
Well, yeah, everyone's home now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's recording, doing something.
Buying gear up the wazoo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, retail sales, not just in music, but in a lot of things I mean, it's probably like the best quarter that they've ever had. Amazon, I think, even had like one of the best quarters, and I know ever, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of uncanny. Like you said, everybody's home, and especially musicians, I think all of us, have been at home recording and producing stuff more, which is nice, which is fun.
I bought a ton of gear.
Yeah.
I bought a ton of gear.
I already have a ton of gear, so I'm
Come
trying
on.
not to buy any more.
Reggie, more is better.
Recording gear, so
Yeah,
More is better.
More is more,
what have you been doing during this whole time, man? Like,
Yeah.
how are you dealing with the COVID?
Well, after our touring stopped, I've been home working. I was working on my daughter's record. Now I'm working on mine.
Nice.
Which is great. I'm grateful, and I can send tracks out, send stuff back east, send stuff wherever. I mean, that's the beauty of, that's the beauty of this technology.
Yeah.
I mean, the downside of everything is that, people are like this all the time.
True.
But the upside is I can use this same phone to record 2496.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Somebody needs a track or something like that. We can all do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you get it. You take your time. Maybe you'll drink a little too much the first week because you're like nothing's, and then all of a sudden this momentum kicks in. You find yourself practicing every day, you're exercising, going over those lines that you couldn't remember, and those weird scales that you want to know all the inversions of, and find those little thoughts of tunes that you maybe sang into voice notes that become like whole compositions, things like that. There's my particular record that I'm working on. It's all the tunes I wrote from 87 to 96.
Oh,
dude.
So nothing is actually new.
Nice.
And there's some of the things I used to do live with friends. There's one tune I wrote. I used like 91, Stanley Clarke was going to start a record label, and he had us. We had a band that we put together. Was Dennis Chambers, Billy Childs, Mike Miller, Karen Briggs, and myself. And I wrote a couple of tunes for that, and I'd never released them, never really recorded them properly. So now I am.
Wow.
There's some orchestral stuff that I had, some funk stuff that I had, some stuff has full horns. So you get into that mode.
Mm-hmm. Now are you when you're going to record these, are you recording them with kind of like the same arrangements that you had before, or now are you kind of looking at them with more seasoned eyes, saying, maybe I would do this or this instead, something like that?
Some of them have the same arrangements that they had before. They were just never realized, to tape or to hard drive. There's the one that's there's one called Thug Funk with all the horns.
I love the name.
Yeah, it was. The arrangement's the same. We just added Dino Saldo did the horn section stuff, and it's Nate Morton's playing from The Voice. He's playing drums. Carl Burnett on guitar. But the funny thing is Carl and Dino. Well, Dino, I think I was one of his first gigs in LA. Was with my band with Jerry Brown and Billy Childs when I was doing some of my solo gigs. So I figured I would call them. Jerry Brown I haven't seen in years, and Billy I'm saving for something else. But yeah, a lot of the arrangements are exactly the same, which is kind of cool.
My ears perked up when you said Dennis. I was like, ooh, my favorite drummer of all time.
Yeah, Dennis is spectacular. I'm trying to get one of his proteges, another a great drummer named Lee Pearson. We do Chris Bodie's gig together. So I sent him the drums to see if he could knock it out, if he had time to knock it out. If he doesn't, I'm going to ask a favor from another friend that usually tries to stay hidden. I don't want to throw his name out there because
Yeah.
it'd just be a nightmare for him. But
I did a show back with Dennis this fall, and like just during sound check, I was like completely like,
oh yeah, he's so much fun to play with. You know,
God.
it's funny.
It's effortless for him. It looks like, you know, like what he.
Oh yeah.
What he does. It's from execution to field to everything. It's just what he is. it's amazing. He's one of the.
He's pretty spectacular. I mean, I've got Gary Novak on the record too, and
yeah, I mean, yeah,
he's just absolutely crushing.
No slouches.
Yeah, I love drums and I love guitar. You know.
Yeah, for me, my favorite was what's the live Schofield with Chambers and Granger? That
Blue Matter.
That whole like Pick Hits Live.
Was that right after Loud Jazz?
I think
that's before Loud Jazz.
Yeah, it's just that record, and that for me, that rhythm section, Granger and Chambers was just, it blew me away. I mean, I love Schofield, but those two guys were like, it was just mind blowing to me. And that opening riff was just, I don't know, it was magic. So
for
that
me, it's
period
fun.
for me is awesome. Just
Yeah.
I love that period of those guys. You know.
Yeah.
I like the record before that.
Okay.
Electric Outlet, where Schofield's playing bass.
Oh.
Steve Swallow produced the record. Schofield's playing bass, and Steve Jordan is playing drums, and he's got DMX programming.
Oh man.
There's no keyboards. I think it's Robin Eubanks with Steve Teray on trombone and David Sanborn.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called Electric Outlet. I love that record.
I'm gonna Spotify that. And
It's
listen to that.
it's super for what it is. It's just super raw, super organic, and the bass parts are ridiculous.
And it's
And I think
Schofield.
it's Schofield playing bass with a pick,
Man.
with like a Boss flanger.
A la Anthony Jackson.
Yeah, well, it's more like Steve. I mean, it's
like
kind of
Steve
Anthony,
Swallow.
more like Steve. Come somewhere between the two.
Yeah.
It actually sounds like Schofield playing bass.
I love it.
It's really happening.
Yeah.
You know, that's where Pick Hits came from.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's where it came from that record.
That's so good.
So it's just raw, and Steve Jordan is crushing it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's just right around that same time as Eyewitness with Casa Loco.
Yeah. That era was.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what Tony was saying. That whole time period. You know, that's Lyle Mays.
Yeah.
The solo record.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah.
That
Is that about the time with the early Tribal Tech, Nomad, and Dr. He?
Yeah, that's about that period.
Yeah.
It's about that period.
Stuff.
And that's let's see.
So Joey Heredia played.
Joey. That's Joey on a lot of that.
Yeah. Who's another just.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's a really good dude.
Yes. Oh yeah. I've met him a couple of times. He's good
Really
people.
good
Yeah.
dude.
And what was it? Marco Mendoza, the
Mark.
trio.
Oh, with Renato.
Yeah, with Renato.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Renato Nato. That trio's happening.
it's just happening. So yeah. So so touring wise, who were you out on tour with before this whole craziness?
Chris Bodie.
That was Chris Bodie. Okay. And
Yeah,
you've been touring with him.
It's the gig that never. It's 200 shows a year.
That's awesome. Beautiful.
Yeah, you know, I'm like close to 60, and my kids are grown.
Wow.
The other lady's doing whatever she's doing, so I'm.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
I
awesome.
gotta say, you're close to 60.
Dude.
Yeah.
No one would know it.
No way.
No way, bro. No way.
No way.
Life happens, man. You know,
Man. That's awesome.
it happens. You know.
What and then I see behind you work in Pro Tools.
I work in Pro Tools most of the time. Occasionally, what is this? Occasionally, I work in Logic.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I was on a couple of the tunes for my daughter. I actually programmed the drums in Logic.
Mm.
So one track, I tried to sound like Steve Guerin.
Nice.
I got pretty close. And then another one, I was trying to copy Kurt Viscara because I mean, he's playing. Well, yeah, it's a good record. He's playing on my because he's known her since she was born. You know.
Yeah, that's
She's
great.
She calls him Uncle Kirky. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I've known Novak and Kurt, Carl Burnett. I've known since '88 when I moved to LA.
Okay.
I moved in '87. I met them all in '88.
Wow.
And
Reggie, where are you from originally?
New York, Yankees.
Nice.
Yankees pennant fight.
Yeah.
Me and Tony have a pennant fight.
Yeah, Boston versus New York, man, all the time, you know, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in Harlem, and I lived in East Elmhurst. And that's where I started taking bass lessons, was East Elmhurst. From Kim Clark, the bass player in Defunct.
Oh, wow.
Joe
Oh,
Henderson.
wow. Okay, yeah.
He lived a block away from me,
Wow.
you know. So she knew me since I was a little round, roly-poly kid. I had a Vox bass.
Oh.
You know, my first bass was a Gibson SG 100 bass with a broken neck, and my mom took it back and they ripped her off and gave her some Japanese copy bolt-on, which was really horrible. I turned it into a piccolo bass. That's when I started working on basses. But I saved up enough money to buy myself a Fender Jazz, but my mother bought me a Vox. So I just gave her the cash, you know, and I played that. And I used to take lessons from Kim, studying some mandel.
Man, I have a ripped up, shredded one here that, yeah.
That's the book.
That's the book.
That's the Bible.
For students, page 69 and 70.
Oh, yeah?
And page 104 and 105.
Okay.
Yeah. You haven't played through 104 and 105, but with the bowings from 69 or 70.
Oh. Man.
That's
Are you
the
still
jam.
playing a lot of double bass too?
Yeah, that's half. Well, actually, it's about 70% of Bodie's gig.
Wow.
I'm playing upright. So I travel with, I was traveling with my signature models, but the bins are getting smaller and smaller in the planes, and I don't like to put it under the plane.
Okay.
So I bought a couple of headless basses, and I didn't want to take my Federa, which is, a lot of guys do that. I'm kind of not into the risk of having I don't want to schmooze some chick. Hey girl, how you doing? You mind if I bring my bass line? It's hideous. So headless, you know.
Yeah, that's Tony.
Tony will do that. Tony will do that all day.
You got it, Tony. You got it. So I bought a couple.
You know
of
my
headless
best line?
basses.
Can I just share my best line for a second? Right.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to pre-board, I know it's packed, and usually it's like the West Coast, or maybe I'll do a fly out to Texas or something. It's always a popular area, you know. I'd be like, I just got in an accident. I have my bass. I'm like, is there any way I can pre-board and get on a little bit early? I'm not feeling well. I was rear-ended 2 days ago.
Oh.
This is just so I could get on and get in the back, because I always book for the back, right? That's the trick. Book for the back of the plane, get the overhead. Boom, overhead, put the buds in. Nighty night.
Smart.
Every once in a while, ow.
Do you know how many times I've left LA that way, gone back to Boston with I got a little accident.
Well, as I understand it, they're not allowed to ask you if there's anyone with a pre-existing condition or that needs to board early.
So no, they'll just say, "Oh, it's okay. Yeah, sure." It never is rejected.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, they're not allowed to even ask you if you just were to board early and it's like, "You okay, sir?" It's like, "Yes, I need to board early."
Yeah.
They're not allowed to ask you what your condition is or anything like that legally. So it's
My condition is
we
out
got
my
that going
check.
for us.
Tony's condition is just feel sorry for me and let me on.
I just want to get my bass. I want to get my lull on the overhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you fly Virgin, well, there's tips and tricks for all the bass players out there. You can take a double, so you can take a double mono
Oh.
and put it right on top. Boop.
So Reggie, when you're traveling with your double bass, though, do you have
I don't. I travel with a bow, and we rent
the
bases
bow and that's
everywhere
it?
we
And
go.
borrow. There you go. Okay.
I bring a Fishman pickup and a David Gage realist just in case. I bring a spare bridge,
French.
spare strings, French to death.
Okay. All right.
French till I die.
Nice.
I studied German to learn it, but
Yeah, French.
yeah.
Got it. Very cool.
Yeah, I usually would use German in orchestra for sectional stuff. But if I ever wanted any more nuance or anything like that, I could always get
Like
so
French.
much more out of a French.
Yeah, it varies from guy to guy. Have you seen this guy Christian Branca?
No.
Yeah, you want. There's so many bad dudes out there.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, today the sky's the limit for the guys that are playing. But Christian plays German bass. German bow.
Mm-hmm.
He usually plays. There's a guy that produced a track on him. I can't remember his name right now. I have it in the computer, but
Okay.
I can look for it while I'm talking to you guys.
And what was it? Christian? Oh, did you say his name is Branca?
I think it's Branca.
Okay. We'll have
But
to.
you'll find him playing. You can find him playing the Bach badinage. You know. He's killing it. He's killing it. But
Wow.
the guy that he plays with is a diminutive sort of cat, ridiculous technique.
Okay.
I'll look for it while we're talking.
While we're chatting.
Yeah.
And then people can see it and hear it. That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
But that's interesting. So wherever you're able to get double basses, borrow loaners and stuff, wherever you're on dates and.
Oh yeah. Well, it's never loaners. It's always a rental.
Got it. Okay.
And it's say 85% of the time it's a decent bass.
Oh, okay.
Right.
5% of the time it's spectacular. About 10% of the time it's nearly unplayable.
Yeah.
But
Is that usually regional? Let's say New York, obviously, or LA, or well, not LA, but
well, no, LA. I had a beast. You know, I thought it was going to be cool, and Mate sent a bass that was because I almost brought my own bass to the gig, but Mate sent a bass that at the end of the fingerboard, the action had to be 3 inches high.
oh,
Jesus.
wow.
So you just
Yeah.
feel,
Yeah.
you know.
Have you ever checked out any of the convertible double basses, like Liberty or?
Well, yeah, I've seen some of them, and Christian Breaker, that's it.
Christian Break? Okay.
Yeah, this guy is ridiculous.
We'll have to-
I've seen it. I've seen some of them, and they're really neat. And I have a Romanian bass with a Wilson pickup that I was going to have, turned into that. But at the end of the day, man, it's like the audience is not going to care.
True.
So
What about like electric upright, like the Steinberger? Steinberger do
not
sound?
the same. Not sound wise, it doesn't. They don't compare. Especially when you're playing with a live violinist and having to come up with real orchestral parts. They don't.
Well,
and
also
it's not as sexy.
Also
for me.
that physicality of having that bout on your body, right? I mean, that's
Right.
Mm-hmm.
feeling that you can't get that on an electric upright.
Like
No
the
matter.
Yamaha is pretty good. The new Yamaha looks really good.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it bows nice and it sounds nice. I've yet to play it, but from the stuff I saw Kenny Davis playing it, and Kenny's a bad dude,
Okay.
and he's not going to chintz out on sound, and it sounded really, really good.
Yeah, that's the one Charlie, one of the listening for.
Our buddy Charlie Sabatino, I think he plays that, and
Yeah.
he likes it a lot.
Yeah, that's I would do that because you can bow that and get a tone, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one sounds close enough that I don't think someone's going to care.
yeah, but aesthetically it's still
Oh yeah, it's still
not the
totally
same. Like when we're playing some of the straight ahead stuff,
Yeah.
we play You Don't Know What Love Is at this tempo.
Oh.
So it's you
Wow.
kind of
Cooking.
yeah, fresh the air from the instrument on stage because we're not playing super loud on stage. So all that stuff, blah blah blah.
No, dude. This is the
We
geeky-
love blah blah blah.
We So we got to tell Reggie how this whole thing started. This big bottom.
And we're just
Talk about mud
apologize to the
flaps. My
audience.
girls got them.
Exactly. Yeah.
The audience has probably heard this a bunch of times, but we'll tell you. Like, Steve or John, go ahead.
Oh, it's my turn now to tell the story.
Go, John.
John, please.
I mean, this really just spawned out of a, I think just hanging out at NAM and things like that, and then just carrying it on into a text message and then into a
Text
group
thread.
chat. Last fall, Tony's like, man, we should take this to the
On
people.
the road.
Yeah, take
this on
it on
the
the road. Do a virtual
Always-
tour.
So much industry talk going on. I'm like, this is like content of like Bass Player Magazine, and maybe even sometimes at times even more detail, you know,
Right.
like real meat. And I'm like, we need to do something. And then when COVID happened, like, okay, this is appropriate. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. You know. So
Well, nice name choice.
Yeah.
It got to be an homage to. I mean, come on.
Derek
It's gotta be-
Smalls.
You got to
Right.
have a yeah, exactly, and that's another thing too is the three of us just. I mean, we've all been playing for a long time, and we really don't. I mean, stuff is serious, but you know, I don't know. You can't take yourself too seriously, man. You got to have fun, and that's why we were all in this
Gotta
and
laugh.
started. You know, so, but at the heart of it, we're nerds to the highest degree. I mean, one little new piece of gear comes out or gossip or whatever, and all three of us are kind of in this industry, and we're just literally just like, did you hear this or check this out? And that was the impetus for this. So
bad.
it's bad, Reggie.
I
And you're
understand that.
and you're part of it now because, well, for one, you are brother in arms in A Designs with us, and we are.
That's why we'll have to talk about the Ready Black.
Oh, dude.
Yes.
So anyway, so yeah, so the blah blah it's bring it on.
Okay.
Speaking of that, I don't know how well you can see this.
Let's see.
Reggie doesn't know this, but I've got a custom bass coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Matt Kiefer from Better Mousetrap Guitars out of Ypsilanti is doing it single cut, 5-string, 32-inch scale.
Oh, neato.
Yeah, and we're doing Nordstrand big blade pickup in the sweet spot.
Okay.
All it's going to be on the top is just a switch to go series parallel.
That's like my Federa is kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Matt was like, you know what? Let me see if there's a clever way I can put a volume knob somewhere in the cavity, just in case you need it.
Well, what did Rob Allen do? Put it in the.
Yeah, so this is how he's going to do it.
Oh, that's inside the cavity?
That will be inside the cavity.
Oh, nice, and
Oh.
sort of like a fat knob on the outside, which you can just kind of touch if you need it, but it doesn't. You're not able to
No,
see it.
it'll be sideways on the inside. His cavity covers are all just magnets,
Mm-hmm.
so it's easy to
Great.
pop off. So it'll be sideways in there. So if I need to do anything, pop it off real quick, adjust it, slap the thing back on, and we're done.
That's cool.
I was wondering if you could have a real tight pot so it doesn't accidentally bump and, you know.
My guess is if we leave the knob off,
Oh,
it's
it
not gonna
It
do anything that way.
my low end, the mid range cut and boost is on the inside, and there's a switch where I can turn it off or on. So I can have it boosted or cut or, you know, flat. Obviously nothing happens, but it's just inside. I set it and I just hit the switch and that kicks up mid range or cuts it and never moves.
You need to tell me how that's set because that's one of the best 5-string J's you ever had.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah. That's a good bass.
What's it set at, Steve?
It's barely bumped. Like the mid range barely bumped. So I just have it. If I hit it, it just because obviously mid range, if you turn it up too much, you get more gain. So your front of house guy is going to be like, "What are you doing, dude?" You know, if you do hit that. So I just have it a little bit of boost and just gives it a little bit of that bump. Anyways, not to derail, but I like that. It's a cool feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your bass is going to be nice, John.
Reggie, I heard you say signature. Tell us about your signature, man.
My signature bass? Oh well, it was with Fender for from 2001 to 2015.
Yeah.
In fact, this is one of them.
Let's see. So
Oh,
look at that, guys. I was gonna say PJ.
Imagine that.
Oh yeah, it was they sold quite a few of them.
Oh
The
no, they're
custom shop-
fantastic.
Yeah.
The
I love
custom
those
shop
things.
models, asymmetrical neck on the
Yeah.
5-string, nitrocellulose lacquer.
Ooh.
That's 21 frets on a 20 fret body, so the
Oh.
bridge is further in, which gives it a bit more sustain because there's more mass. The P, I moved the P somewhere else.
Okay.
Because it became a question of like, okay, so I'm going to play just the P bass pickup
Okay.
now. Same harmonics, right?
Yeah.
Bridge pickup. So normally when you play a P, you're not going to hear any of
No.
that or that.
You moved
No.
it back a little bit.
Definitely
huh?
not that. Yeah, it's well, the bass has been discontinued. You're going to find out it's between the 29th and 32nd fret.
Interesting.
So it has it allows for different harmonics
Okay.
and like groove.
Yeah.
And still,
Yeah.
I love it.
Great. Yeah. Well, and those came in 4 and 5 strings, right?
right, and this is from Mexico, so this is
Yeah.
pretty much a stock Mexico one. Which a lot of guys they said, "Well, I can't get a good sound out of it." I'm like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right now, I just have a little bit of the low end boosted, which is what I usually do. If I'm trying to match the pass, because I put a new pot in, so I can go fully passive if I want. But if I'm
Right.
trying to match passive to active gain, I'll leave the bass flat and I'll run maybe the mid range and the treble at maybe -3. So that's passive. This is active.
Oh wow.
So you can't tell
Yeah.
until things start to kick in.
Wow.
You know. Now I've boosted the bass. Like you can dime everything, it'll sound great. Which a lot of basses you can't do that.
Right.
And it's a P with a little bit. You still have that traditional, but it's a little modernish too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. The guy.
And if I,
Of
you
course.
know,
You can do Jamerson and Marcus all in one.
you can do. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Now I'm passive right now, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
So you can do what, you know, the Graham.
Yeah.
It's a jazz bass,
Yeah.
but it's for me it's 4 basses in one. I've got a passive P, an active P, passive J, and active J.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to like take at least 3 more basses to the studio with me.
The three of us have a love and an affinity for PJs. I mean, there's something about them, and we all have different versions and a few, and it's just, at least for me, I find it one of the most versatile setups.
Become a more of a newer love for me. I was a
Yeah.
J bass guy forever, and like you, Reggie, I have a signature with low, and I am a fan. Like, if you want that punch, it's not about moving the bridge pickup. I feel it's like you, man. I pull the neck pickup back a little
Yeah.
bit, you know, and
Oh.
that's where you get that quick response.
Well,
Really,
it definitely took a lot of work. You know, it's finding that happy place. I think it was Fred Stewart and Alan Hamill that I worked with initially at
Okay.
Fender, and Mark Hendrick made the original neck. So finding the right amount of wood in the neck, finding like most guys are ash and maple. I'm definitely alder rosewood kind of guy.
Nice.
Because you could still get all the brightness that you need, but the warmth of everything else is there. Yeah, that super punch. There's for me, there's a lot of things. Like when we were talking about mid range, my boost on a mid range is at 400 cycles, no higher, and it's maybe a third of an octave, so that it's not like obtrusive. My high end is 4K. Like for this particular bass and for this circuit, when we first did this circuit, was Michael Frank Braun and I were sitting and voicing this circuit, and we ran across this weird anomaly in that when you boosted the low end, the frequency would drop. So if I'm starting at 40, by the time I dime this, my center frequency is at 30. So it's never gets like woofy like in that 60 to 120 cycle area. And the high end, if I'm starting at 4, by the time I dime it, I'm really at 6. So it stays crystalline. It doesn't. It's not that obtrusive high that kicks you in like 3K. So it was a lucky find between everything else that we did, placement and the like. And for initially the Mexican version didn't come out quite the way I wanted. I still had to tweak it. I use stainless steel strings as opposed to nickel.
Okay.
There are definitely tonal issues and how they age and the like that make a difference. And of course, how they treat the frets. But that made a huge difference in like the combination I use. That's part of what makes the Reggie special for me, and is how it married my signature model.
That's cool.
You know, because I met Peter in 2003, and I started using the DI right away. He just wanted me to test it. I was taking it right to the studio.
Yeah.
But the punch I get, like I'm going through really tiny speakers right now.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much. I've taken a little bit of the high end off.
Sounds great.
But that's the P bass punch that Tony's talking about. Just the right placement of the jazz bass pickup, because it's in 65 jazz bass spacing. It's not like the 74 jazz and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, a lot of guys are like, oh, go with the 70s thing, get like a Marcus thing. I'm like, I don't know, man. I found the magic not there. And I was a 70s guy for a while. I mean, it's cool. It's its own thing. But moving that bridge, moving the neck pickup, man, is like, there's the clarity. You know?
Well, it's funny because it started in like I was talking to Jay Black about it, and I guess he came around because in his book, it's more what I said than what he said when we were having an argument at Fender. I said, no, that pickup placement was way before that, because I had a 74 jazz and a 73, and the end of 73, early 74, they were moving the pickup further south.
Yeah.
And maybe it might have been an anomaly initially, but I think somebody said I wanted it brighter.
Yeah.
But they weren't expecting a guy like Jaco to come out and start playing. And most guys were still playing with a pick back then.
Yeah.
I mean, a 70s jazz does its thing. I had a 74, and they sound great for what they are. You know, the ash maple, 13-pound boat, you know?
Yeah. I mean, my 67 is right there, so I still swear by that. You know, as much as I like the 70s, I had an 80 jazz factory orange 3-bolt neck maple fingerboard. I sold to some kid just to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's probably worth a lot of money now, but it was worth getting rid of it.
I've had 3, two 73s and a 74, and I don't have them anymore. I have my 68.
Yeah, a 72 jazz is sexy.
Yeah.
You know,
but
like my 72 P bass was.
But they have to be the 4-bolt, not the 3-bolt, because the 4-bolt ones were the good ones. When you're getting into that 3-bolt era, they start getting a little inconsistent. The 4-bolt.
Well, it takes a minute to find the spot. You know, like when you had the shim screw.
Ooh.
Like finding that happy place. I used to talk with Buzzy Featon about it.
Oh yeah.
He would shim his neck forward leaning so he could get more low end out of it.
Interesting. Oh.
Oh, okay.
You know, it would be a little bit chunky, a little bit warmer, things like that. So it's definitely the playing style gets accommodated. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this playing style has to make accommodations for that, but it's like, what's more important, your comfort or the tone? It's like a lot of those fantastic bass players that have all the super facility that play with these super low strings.
Oh yeah.
some of them, their tone is sacrificed
Yeah.
for their playing and for their technique.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
I think that's even much more apparent if you see some of those upright players that have the super low action
Yes.
stuff, because
Yeah.
I mean that's definitely where you
It's a good
lose
point.
a lot of, like we were talking about, moving that air.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an electronic sound, which can
Yeah.
be cool, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same as moving the air. There's like when you hear Christian Breika,
Yeah.
Mm.
or what's that kid's name? He studied at Curtis.
Hmm.
He studied with what's his name? Xavier Foley. That's his name.
Okay.
Hear this kid play bass.
Wow.
It's frightening. Just absolutely frightening. Oh yeah, who's the other guy that I was telling you guys to check out?
Said Braca.
Well, yeah, there's Christian Breika and Boguslav Furtok.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, here, let me put this up so everybody can see this. Well, maybe I have to turn the screen down a little bit because it's the beauty of
Oh, the phone thing. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay.
So-
Books of Floor Talk. Okay.
Yeah, check him out because Breika plays in his bass quartet.
Oh, wow.
These guys are
Mind blowing. It's crazy.
yikes.
Yeah.
I
Yikes.
love when like good artists suggest other people, man. That's, it's always the best, right?
Yeah.
I want to hear what other people are being inspired by.
Oh, there's so many. You guys like Renat Ibragimov? You
Hmm.
hip to him?
No.
Mm.
That's
He
Oh.
played with the London Symphony.
wow.
Russian-born bass player. I think he had a stroke, so he'd
Oh.
take an L. But check him out playing the Kusevitsky, anything. He
Hmm.
played with LSO for a long time,
Hmm.
and he was playing the Dittersdorf, but his brain, he remembered everything, every piece. He's never playing with music. He knows every piece, and his intonation is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Renat
mind-blowing.
Ibragimov. You can check him out as well. There's
And
so
Reggie,
many
I'm going to
guys.
ask you, did you work with Brian Beller over there at Fender?
I knew Brian, but no, we never worked together at Fender.
Okay.
But I knew him. I just saw him doing something last night. He was doing something for some on Reverb.
Oh.
Maybe it was a looper pedal or a delay or a chorus or something. I was just watching him. He's a brilliant bass player, great
Yeah,
guy.
he's great.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah.
No, I mean I knew Tony Franklin there, but my relationships with Fender were initially with Alex Perez.
He's a good buddy of mine. I know
Oh,
Alex.
yeah.
I've known Alex forever, man.
Alex signed me.
That's awesome.
He saw me with Seal, and I was
Nice.
playing a jazz bass, even though I was endorsed by a different company. And he asked me why. It's like, well, they haven't gotten it right. I mean, as much as I've asked them to make, so I'm gonna play this until they get it right. Then he signed me,
That's awesome.
and I had played one of the first jazz deluxes. What's his name? Mark. He passed away. He had an aneurysm. Really nice guy. Kind of looked like Kevin Cronin from REO Speedwagon a little bit. Can't remember, but I played the bass, and I just found out a friend of mine around the corner actually has it. But,
Oh, wow. Nice.
Alan Kamai, another killer bass player that used
Okay.
to play with Whitney and a bunch of people.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Alex had signed me, and he made my fretless jazz that I still play.
So, yeah.
And Dan Smith, God rest his soul,
Okay.
who Bill Schultz had brought in from Yamaha, who was a Fender guy, because
Yeah.
these were the early investors when they brought Fender back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Richard McDonald,
Hmm.
who was the senior VP, and Tom Arndt and Michael Frank Braun.
Oh.
So those are the guys I work with pretty regularly.
Gotcha.
Man.
Whether I was testing gear, because I tested a lot of stuff for them, or
Yeah.
offered ideas, or
I mean, I know
offered.
Brian was more with like SWR and the acquisition and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
Brian
I
was
didn't
doing
know.
that, and
Yeah.
then Tony was doing that as well with SWR, because they were SWR guys. I was always Fender guy.
Yeah.
Like the tube preamp is based off of my Alembic F2B.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love that preamp. The TBP.
I love that preamp.
TBP one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great pre.
That was from that voice is from my Olympic F2B.
Wow.
And the first overdrive was mine, but then Roscoe Beck. So the overdrive section is based more on Roscoe Beck. It's more fuzz. I tried to get it to be more crunchy so that you could get an SVT sound out of it.
Yeah.
But you still can. You just have to finagle it a little bit.
That is so funny, man. That's great.
Yeah, and that went into the super basement.
Man, that's cool. That was a great pre. I love that pre. Like I said, I had it for a while. It was good.
Yeah, I still have 2 of them.
Nice.
That was my gigging pre for a long time.
Wow.
If you can get a super basement,
as
much as I hate to say it, it's like having a Ready inside in the DI section.
Yeah.
Because it's a giant transformer.
Yeah.
So, but
Hey, tell us about the latest Ready. Come on, let's hear about it.
All right, so the Ready Black. So we know what the Ready sounds like a B15. It does.
Yes.
Ready Black sounds more like an SVT.
Wow.
You know, it's really punchy. It's 32 dB a gain.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go directly into a power amp, you can get something out of it. Yeah.
Is it in the same footprint as the Ready?
It's the exact same thing.
Okay.
So footprint size, it's exactly
Everything's
the same.
It's the same. Got it.
Just the gain's different, the tone's different.
Okay. Is the through affected or not affected?
The through's not affected.
Okay. Same as the regular.
Same as the Ready, yeah.
Same as the Ready. You know, if the only other way to get the tone. I mean, we could do a mod to get the tone out, but I'm not entirely sure if that's good.
No, I was just wondering. Yeah.
No, because that comes up in conversation a lot because a lot of people still don't know how to use it. They'll plug in to the Ready, then they'll go out of the through and say, "Man, it sounds great." I'm like, "You're not hearing it.
You're not." Yeah, exactly.
Not hearing it yet.
I just would like, when we start gigging again, it would be nice to have, the through into an amp, and then you've got the sound of the Ready.
Absolutely. Well,
nice.
No, have 2 outputs then. Steve, you got to have a throughput. I'm a big fan of having an unaffected throughput.
Yeah.
I use 2 Readies. Like when I'm recording in the studio, a lot of guys will use the Ready too, but I still have the original Readies that don't have the throughs, and I use one for a clean signal and one for my pedal board.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And then I do presets inside when I'm working in Pro Tools. So I'll set up an aux channel. Then I set my compression the way I like. Let's see if I can do this.
What interface are you using, Reggie?
The Duet.
The Duet. Cool. Apogee. Nice.
Yeah, because
Fantastic.
I have an Apogee 1 that I gave to my daughter.
Okay.
Because I'm traveling all the time.
Yeah.
And if I ever need to record like large stuff, I'll just go somewhere.
Yeah.
But most times I need 2 channels.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
If I go to record somebody playing piano, like I'll go see Childs and we'll use his piano.
Yeah.
Take 2 channels, take a MacBook Pro. Boom.
Nice.
I used to take Aphex had a mic pre that was 24 192 with digital outs.
Okay.
So I would take that with a pair of mics with an old interface with an old MacBook back in the day. And it was a pain in the butt. But the Apogee, the converters are really good.
Yeah.
I mean, surprisingly, really, really good.
Yeah.
And I have all my presets. Like I said,
Yeah.
I have 20 different bass presets for different basses that I have when I'm recording.
Nice.
So run them through the aux and then send the aux to a recording channel. And it also cleans up the timing a lot.
Okay.
Because you find that you're trying you'll get some sort of latency that your body compensates for, and then you end up sounding like you're ahead of the track. Then you have to send it back a few ticks. But running it through that signal chain, everything's very normal.
Interesting.
Which is really neat.
That's cool. And I see the blue light of the Ready back there.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really, I haven't recorded, because we just finished with this, so I haven't recorded with this enough.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be my go-to as a single from now on.
So the Ready Black, that's available now for people. They can go look at it and go to A
Well,
Design.
it's only, you can only get it through A Designs.
Nice.
So
I love
we'll
it.
have to-
I love it.
as soon as Pete puts it on the website, they'll be available. And it's
Well,
a limited run.
Oh,
It's a
I love
limited
it.
I
run.
might
So,
have to talk to Peter.
yeah, you may have to talk to Peter. I think there's only going to be about 50 of them.
Whoa.
Well, 49 of them.
49.
Ah!
Like, yeah, like you're not getting this one back.
Yeah.
Now, and that one has the unaffected through. That's just regular.
They all have unaffected throughs.
Okay. All right.
So,
Cool.
I mean, Carl Johnson did the mod
Mhm.
on them, and so we could probably come up with a mod
Yeah.
if we want to. If someone wants to spend the extra bread to have them drill a hole into your box
Yeah.
and put a switch in there, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, which can be cool if you're playing with a solid state rig that doesn't have a whole bunch of character.
Yeah.
That can be really neat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the only way I could see that would be neat to have. You know, unless you add a mixer into the chain and then go through the mixer and then go through which I used to do all the time. So take the because was it Steve Robbie? We didn't get along, but
Really?
yeah,
Interesting.
surprising, right? But he made when he left SWR, he started that other company, and he had there's a little line mixer,
Raven Labs.
Raven
Yeah.
Labs,
Raven
right?
Labs. Yeah.
So I have a Raven Labs line mixer with 3 inputs for 3 different basses. I used to have it for synth bass, upright, and electric. And so I've run 3 different DIs through it, or 1 DI through it, and then send that to my amps. I could have my DI sound, as well as send it cleanly to monitors in front of house.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
but it was the Raven Labs, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some interesting products. That headphone amp sounded really good. Really, people.
Oh, yeah.
He had some very some ways about him.
Well, when I first met him, the SM400 had just come out. And I can say it now because this is, I don't know, what, 30 years ago?
That was at Silmar.
Yeah.
Silmar, right? The
You're
SWR.
not that day.
Well,
Yes.
I had talked to him about putting a high pass on because about 10 or 15 cycles, these drivers are gone. So it's like a waste of energy and it's beating up the drivers, and he completely blew me off. And I was walking through NAMM and saw him, and then I think Freddie Washington, Ricky Minor, let's see, John, that used to play with Nancy Wilson. They used to be on Arsenio.
Oh, John.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I could see his face, and
Yes.
my mind escapes me.
Higgins,
But I mean, it was a
John-
bunch of them
yeah.
that were over there.
You a Warwick guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Warwick guy.
Yeah.
And they'd all grab me, and then suddenly I was cool as Steve.
Oh man.
But it didn't matter that I was already playing bass for Stanley when I met him.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Was it Jonathan Higgins? John B. Higgins?
John B. Williams.
John B.
Joey Williams.
There we see.
No,
The
Joey
collective-
Williams.
The collective brain figures it out.
There wasn't anything collective about it. I'm in front of my computer. I typed in Arsenio Hall bassist and just scrolled down.
Yes, he's John B. Williams. Great guy.
There's always a smart one.
Super swinging bass player.
Now,
And Steve Robbie was great. I mean, he was just a brilliant guy. He was like all engineers. They're kooky.
well, I mean, we definitely have him and that team to thank to revolutionize things for us, especially amplification wise. I mean,
Well, David Nordscow.
and Norchow, David Norchow for sure.
You know,
You described a typical NAMM behavior too.
Yeah.
Right? You know, that's a behavior you only find in.
well, but I didn't meet him at NAMM.
Yeah,
That was the thing. You know.
you knew him before. Yeah,
But yeah, David's really the guy because he's the one that came up with the rheostat and the tweeter and created that cabinet. That cabinet was a defining sound because he made all those cabinets for SWR.
Yeah,
You know,
man,
and he's such a nice guy.
that and I got it. The DNA stuff is great. I've had a couple of them come through. That stuff's good.
Yeah, I haven't played through that stuff.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. He and Judy were cool. I used to go to Montrose, Minnesota, and visit them, and drink with them at the VFW. And they were good people. Good people.
That's do you use any other of A Design stuff? The KGBs?
I don't use the KGBs. I use when I'm recording upright and I take it to the studio. I have a little rig. I take a Ventura.
Yeah,
I run a Dave Perlman FET 47 through it.
Oh, nice.
For the upright, and then for the transducer, I'll use a P1 going to the BAC, and then I use the EMP EQ.
That's the 500 series?
Yeah, I use a 503.
Got it.
So it's basically it's a full-on channel strip.
That's awesome.
The Ventura doesn't have any compression, but when I'm going with using the mic, I'm not really worrying about that.
That's my.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, the Ventura's it's so good. It's
super sexy.
Yeah, and Tony has the Pacifica, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and that's what the P1 is. It's a Pacifica and a 500 series.
That's right. Yeah.
But for a full-on channel strip, that's
on cymbals, drum overheads.
Yeah, for overheads, that's. Yeah.
Oh man, for piano, for vibraphone.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow.
Oh yeah, for vocals. I mean, the P1 is just great for everything.
Yeah.
Just great for everything. That's my pretty much my setup. The KGB one is really killer too. So if you just have without saying, I mean, I don't want to say it like it sounds cheap, but don't have a ton of bread to spend, like where you can't buy a Ventura. You have a single channel with 3 bands of EQ.
Hold on, kids.
Yeah, tremendous box.
That's it right there. And I like the KGB 2 for just a stereo. There's Tony's.
Yeah.
And the 2-channel one is great because it's just 2 channels of just killer cinema of transformer.
Right, it's a killer sound, and it's really nice with keyboards.
Yeah. I've recorded Rhodes with the KGB. And
try recording Rhodes with your Ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Ooh.
It'll crunch nice, all of it.
Kind of cool. 12-string guitar.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I was surprised, but not surprised.
Yeah.
In fact, just about anything. I'm really comfortable with the sound of all of it. So that's what I use. Eventually, I'll get myself a hammer, but I don't mix. So I don't see the need to have one. I couldn't mix my way out of a paper bag with an Uzi. I just can't do it.
I don't know, man. I think
it's not my thing.
Yeah.
It's really totally not my thing.
Yeah.
So
we'll leave that to Tony Shepard. He's a wizard, man.
Yeah, Tony Shepard, Jess Sutcliffe, who mixed my record and mixed my daughter's stuff. He mixed like a bunch of musicology for Prince, and he used to do Vangelis, and he did some Stone stuff. Jess is brilliant. And Tony, Tony Shepard is all A Designs all the time.
Yeah, he's great, man. Yeah, the whole team, the whole family.
I think I introduced Tony to Peter.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
That's awesome. Well, dude, that whole A Design, I mean, all of us are, it's
Peter's got some badass recorder producers, man, in his caliber, in his stable,
Yeah, it's and funny. It's still a best kept secret on what the product is.
Yeah,
it's surprisingly.
I just don't want to say it because we're artists of it, but there's a thickness. There's a thickness that comes with all of Peter's stuff, man. I mean, even the KGB, like.
Well,
this was good for any amp modeling. I noticed it took amp modeling and just went.
Well, that's Carl Johnson. Carl Johnson.
Yeah, he's a whiz.
Created the KGB and created the Ventura. He's a killer guitarist too.
Yeah, dude, his fusion stuff is crazy.
Yeah. Well, because he was friends with Zappa, and
that's awesome.
He's another quirky engineer, guys.
Yeah, that can play his ass off.
Yeah, he can play his ass off.
He can seriously play. Yeah, but I know that I have the Apollo and I use the Unison stuff, but there's something about real iron and real circuitry that
absolutely
I don't think you're ever gonna be able to replace. You can get close. You can still do stuff.
As long as you have good converters.
Yeah.
Going in, and then it's what you use going in. You know?
And poop
Right.
in, poop out. That's it.
Right.
I mean, all of us talk about that recording. If it sounds like ass coming out, you put ass in. That's it. That's it. You know, it's really that, you know.
That's
So,
Steve's line: "Poop in, poop out,"
Yeah.
which makes complete sense.
Well, I mean, but they're guys that have a ton of facility. It's
Yes.
it's their approach to tone. Stanley Clarke was huge on tone. Like, I mean, all the years I played on this movie stuff,
Yeah.
I between he and Dan Human, his engineer, I got an understanding of their signal process
Okay.
and what their signal chain was and how to find my own. You know, initially with them, I was using a Demeter
Yeah.
DI, a Jensen mic pre, custom Jensen mic pre, to an Innovonics compressor, and a George Massenburg EQ.
Oh man.
That was a signal chain for the stuff I did with him. Gosh, it's over 30 years ago. Now I think about it. I'm not going to name what the song stuff is because it's really old. But
That's amazing though.
But I started to learn about what the signal chain meant, you know, and then Alan Sides would pull my code, or all the engineers I work with over the years, to find what that thing was. Who was it that taught me into, I don't know if it was Tony or if it was Stanley or somebody, because when I did, for a period, I had my own box that I would just plug into the back of the tape machine.
Oh.
So I was using, this is before I met Peter. This is like from 92 to 90, maybe to 2000.
Okay.
It was a Demeter pre with the DI in it.
Jensen.
Yeah, the whole Demeter bass preamp.
Yeah.
With DBX 160A.
Yep.
And a DBX 120X. The subharmonic synthesizer, which I put in the effect chain, and then take the XLR out and go into the 160A, and then go to the back of a tape machine. So I could go to the back of like the 3348s and the 3324s were really big back then, as well as the Studers.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
And I would bypass everything. But those guys were big on how to take your own sound with you all the time.
Sure.
Then I got to a point where it was just a pain. I was working with one producer. He insisted on EQing my stuff after that, and so my bass went from a bass to a trumpet.
Oh.
Just horrible. Just sucked. Then when this came along, I was good.
You're done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like whatever you want to do, just do. I don't care. I know that I'm giving you a great signal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
if you mess it up, it's on you.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially while doing all the remote stuff. Like, I think all of us have been doing a lot more remote stuff than before. You know, it's been nice. And
oh yeah.
And exploring that signal chain and having your sound, like that's here. I recorded the best that I could, the best sound. I'm giving it to you. Now it's up to you. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever the tone is required for the song.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yep.
Like whether it's an upright or like I have a Jack Cassidy I love playing.
Oh, those things are great.
Yeah, they're really sexy.
Yeah.
And I had I bought another old Vox, so I gave it to my daughter. She uses it, but it's single pickup, single cutaway. It was, you know, they just have that tone, you know. So going through the ready and then creating the sound, whatever the sound was, as long as you give a good signal to your client is what counts.
Yeah.
Not necessarily your sound, but the sound that fits the song.
Well, yeah. Different basses and
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And string wise, what you said stainless steel. That's kind of I love stainless steel. What strings are you using now, Reggie?
I still have my old batches.
Okay.
Well, D'Addario started making strings for Fenders, so I have some of them, but I still have the batches. Fender used to make their own strings for a period of time.
Okay.
And they did really, really, really well. Unfortunately, I guess it wasn't profitable. I wish I had known that because I would have bought all the string winding machines. They just left them out to get
Whoa.
rusted. I would have bought them all.
Yeah.
You know? So my string setup when I was with Fender, when they made, like, you do the standard 45 to 105, like these are for the 4-string basses,
Okay.
Mhm.
and stainless steel round core. Then for my 5-string, it was a 135 taper wound,
Oh.
Mhm.
110, 85,
Okay.
65, 45. And I had an asymmetrical neck, and I would top load the top 3 strings, and the B and the E I would back load.
Okay.
Oh.
I've done
So-
that.
Yeah, and it was really cool. I had the tension that I needed from everything. I had the warmth in the character, and I use a hip shot on the 5-string as well. So when
Low A?
I still had the piano-like brilliance because it was taper wound. I had low A.
Okay.
You know.
That's
Yeah, the bass
cool.
was designed with things in mind. The 5-string was designed for guys that had played 4-string all their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with an asymmetrical neck, it made it more comfortable for those guys.
Sure.
And having the hip shot was cool for the guys that played gospel
Yep.
because they would tune down a lot.
Yeah.
And for me, because I wanted that low A, or if I wanted an F sharp,
Yeah.
I could have it. You know, and having the 135 with the taper wound allowed me to have the tension that I needed without having it to be obtrusive or funky. Like in '84, I used to test strings for Rich Coco
Oh wow.
Mhm.
because I got my first Federa in '84. You know, I had known Vinny and Joey back then. And I was testing 140s, 145s.
Oh God.
Yeah, they were beasts. They were beasts. But started to learn. You learn about what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
How I learned that nickel really doesn't work for me.
Mm.
It works for a lot of guys. Sonically, for me, I'm not a fan. There's a bump at around 3K that I have to work to get out separately. Like most jazz basses, if you want to get that sort of groovy sound, and they put a dip in, right? So usually the dip is about 1K. If you're playing with a PJ and you want to get that same kind of sound, the dip is about 2K. So dealing with a 2K dip at a third of an octave plus another 3K dip just to get rid of that sort of obtrusive bite, and then still get the crystalline shine, it's a lot of extra work. So if I just put the stainless steel strings on, I can avoid like 2 or 3 steps.
Feel wise, you like the steel better too? Just
Oh,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. But my technique is as such that it doesn't matter. And I've been playing upright since I was a kid, so I can't feel my fingertips.
Right.
I could be playing barbed wire. I don't care.
yeah.
Do you have a heavy right hand, Reggie?
Pardon me?
Do you have a heavy right hand? Do you play hard?
I play whatever I need to for the song.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can play really, really hard, or I can play really delicately.
But your native playing, like if you're playing for yourself, if you're playing a funk tune at 120 beats per minute, are you playing?
If it's my song, it depends on what I want for that song.
Okay, gotcha.
You know,
Okay.
it's for me, it's all about what does the song like.
Yeah.
Right. So what does the bass like? What does the song like?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how I treat it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if I have to play, you know, if I have to play like that, or if I have to play light or soft, it's whatever the music, whatever's dictated for the music.
Cool.
So I change my technique according to what's necessary for the song to make the song the best I can, as opposed to me bringing me to it.
Sure. That's cool.
Gotcha.
Nice.
It's my quirky thing. Because
No.
sometimes you're playing with the
that
pick.
makes sense. I mean, I tend to play. I'll change up, but natively, I play a little harder than average. You know what I mean?
You tend to play a little harder than average.
You just got called out, Tony.
I think I did. Yeah.
It happens often in this group.
Right.
We all
Because
have
it's-
our days.
You should just own it. He should just own it and just be like,
Yeah.
I like to attack the strings a little heavier than most.
But
No one's
I
going
will-
to judge him for that.
yeah. But
That's
I will
the Tony Paleo sound.
yeah. But I will say that Tony and I, we all talk and chat. Tony, you had a couple of sessions where you played, and I'm sure you served the song.
Oh yeah.
I'm,
As
if it's a pop gig, I am
Yeah.
definitely backing off what I do. You know what I mean? If it's a ballad, I'm backing off even more.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just.
It's funny. See, that's reverse for me. I tend up having to play harder on a ballad for a particular type of tone, and harder on the pop gigs. The jazz gigs tend to be lighter.
Okay.
Because you can't beat an upright to death. They just don't like it.
Right.
If you play really hard, you just end
Oh,
up
well,
choking it. Yeah,
I'm
you know
a
what I'm talking
middle
about, Jonathan.
I'm not really an upright player, so for me, it would be like playing a five, and normally if like it's a funk fusion thing, I'm not playing like your average fusion guy. I kind of play a little harder, just that's how I feel I can get the most out of my own technique,
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
and then hand position for me too. If it's a pop gig or a ballad, I tend to play further back, but for those gigs or song of that nature, I'm moving my hand up closer to the neck,
Right. Yeah, there are different guys that have those approaches, like Alex Blake. You guys remember him?
Mm-mm.
He used to play with Lenny White and play with Manhattan
Oh
Transfer.
man.
That's him on the Vocalese record, if memory serves, and he's on Astral Pirates.
Okay.
He tended to play harder. Played in the limbic. He's the guy that used to do. He did a lot of the strung stuff before Stanley.
Really? That's cool. A la School Days kind of thing, like kind
Yeah,
of.
but you'll hear it on Astral Pirates.
Really?
Yeah, you'll definitely hear him playing on
Okay.
Astral Pirates.
This is educational. I'm going to be checking out a bunch of different things after.
Heck yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is.
But he played harder. Marcus plays hard. He can play soft. He does whatever's required.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like Larry Graham played hard.
Yeah. Louis Johnson.
Louis Johnson played incredibly hard.
Just. Yeah.
I mean, you could see it.
Oh man, he
Whole
was
upper
thunder
body
thumb.
moved,
Yeah.
Yeah. Thunder thumbs, man.
Thunder
So
thumbs.
amazing.
Unbelievable studio player.
Dude.
Unbelievable. Had his own way of writing stuff down.
Yeah.
If you get the first Brian McKnight solo record, Louis Johnson sounds breathtaking.
Yeah. Didn't he play on the first Anita Baker record too?
I don't know if he did. I know Haslip did and Nathan East did.
I thought or
Louis-
maybe the second
Louis
one
may
or
have.
something.
Yeah,
And that's-
he may
I
be
mean,
on one of them.
Yeah,
But he
and
played on a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And dude, Nathan's.
Yeah, Nathan Haslip too.
Yeah, Haslip's. Yeah.
Haslip. Well, we go way back. When I first got into town, Haslip and Abe Laborio were getting me gigs, and they didn't even know me. They were just trying to hook me up.
That's
and I was
awesome.
just,
Yeah,
22, 23 or something like that.
that's so cool.
They're trying. I mean, they're just so.
They're
all
good
praise
people.
to Haslip. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's this? Remember this? It's Yellow Jackets. Early, like the first Haslip record with Ricky Lawson on drums.
Oh, so good, man.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, I know. I'm so good. One of my favorite Four Corners is one of.
Oh, is that Will?
I think so. It's the one that just had. It's almost like a concept jazz album. It's just.
Yeah. They went more that way at a certain point.
Like instead of like the Robin Ford Menage a Trois and all those, but it was just so. Four Corners is just for me. It just.
You see the performances at NAMM last year that Haslip was like one of the top performances.
So good.
Like when I forget which blog was talking about it, but they were like overwhelmingly like he was right up there.
Oh yeah, and I mean, when you think of like that group of guys, they're all still crushing it.
Yes.
So it's the class of 1951. So Jimmy Haslip was born in 51. Jocko, Stanley Clark, Alfonso Johnson, Kenny Wilde, who played with Seawind,
Okay.
who did The Simpsons for years, Animaniacs,
Mhm.
all that stuff. Pete
Wow.
was born in '51. That's
Yeah.
that whole class of '51. Did you guys know Pete was a pro bass player for a long time?
I knew he played, but I didn't know he was a pro bass player. No, tell us.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. He worked. When we release the ads for the Ready Black, I'll post a picture of it.
Please do.
Yeah.
Oh man. That
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he was touring with Jan and Dean and
really?
oh yeah. Yeah, heck of a bass player and a saxophonist.
Man.
Just trying to get him to play now, it's like
I always knew he was talented, so but I was like, God, what do you and he's so modest. That's the thing. I love him.
super
He's
modest,
so
super humble guy.
humble, modest.
Just totally chill. Love the guy.
Yeah.
You know.
But one of the, I mean, he's in this community. He's just one of the guys, one of the best people in this.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
There's-
he's a good man.
Yeah,
He's
there's a
family to
handful.
me.
Yeah, he's a beautiful person. Love that guy. He's
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah. What do you have planned right now, Reggie? I know we're kind of in this limbo with stuff. What do you
Well, I mean, I do sessions from here. People send me tracks.
Okay.
Send them out through WeTransfer.
Yeah.
They pay me through PayPal. It's pretty simple.
love it?
I haven't been teaching a lot
Okay.
because it's really personal to me. Because I'm sure I could charge just the right amount of money and have a lot of students, but
Okay.
it's not
Yeah.
cool. And I'll leave the price high, and if you really want to learn something, then I'll give you way more than what you're paying for, kind of thing. But shedding,
Yeah.
working on my record, which is I'm pretty excited about.
That's cool. And how many records did you have out?
I only have one out, and it's really old.
Okay. Well, what's the name of it?
It's called My Village.
That's right. Okay.
Childs is on it. Sheila E's on it.
Wow.
George Duke's on it.
Oh,
Kurt Pescara, Dino Saldo, James Hara.
all right. We'll have to look for it. So we'll have to look for that. And the other thing I'm going to look for, I'm going to start searching out and try to find one of your signature basses. Just
If you can,
Reverb.
what's that?
There's one on Reverb. It's a 4-string. I
Oh.
think it's sitting around 8.
Oh, that's from Mexico.
Yep.
Mexican
Yeah.
one. Yeah, still.
There is a custom shop one I saw on it too that I think is closer to like 36.
Yeah. If you can find those they're
are
hard to find. The trick is finding one that hasn't been modified.
Okay.
If you can find one that hasn't been modified, it's great because a lot of people will mod them because they don't know how to use them, how to get a sound.
What are
out of
they
them.
modding, Reggie? What are they?
Sometimes they'll put an Aguilar preamp in. Sometimes they'll change the pickups, and they'll do all sorts of bizarre stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've had to use that bass on 300 or 400 records,
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
maybe 2,000 sessions without it, with it being absolutely stunning. So
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with it.
And the stock pickups are what? The Alnico, Fender. Alnico.
Stock pickups are Alnico.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were using Alnico 3 in the bridge.
Oh wow. Little
Wiring with the original pickup, we were wiring with 42 wire because I sat with Bill Turner.
Okay.
I tried winding my own, which is a long and arduous process.
Oh yeah. Yes.
But
Say
yeah,
you've done it.
yeah, but I've done it.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was 12. That's a pain in the butt, man.
Yeah.
And it's very delicate and have to be just right. But yeah, we were doing 42 wire with 4,000 windings.
Okay.
And then we started getting into the N3s. So I'd replace them and put N3s in. And it sounds spectacular. I can't complain. I can't complain. Me personally, because I asked the guys at Fender for the Mexican line and for a lot of their new line, the guitars look really beautiful, but the finish is thick, and they did it for the sake of aesthetics, not for tone. So if you find one of these jazz basses, or if you make one, strip it down to the alder and just do a clear coat on it. The bass will sound 10 times better.
Yeah.
Like I have the Mule of the 5-string.
Okay.
The Mule of the 4-string got stolen in 2003. Fender had a break-in, and I think it was an inside job. Yes, I'm saying it aloud. And they stole 8 instruments, like some Benedettos,
Oh,
which are really expensive.
they knew what they were going for.
Oh, they knew what they were going for because
Yeah.
they stole like 3 or 4 Benedettos, 3 or 4 custom Strats, something else,
Oh.
and 1 bass. The bass they stole was the Mule,
Wow.
which a bunch of guys said, "Man, I would steal this bass. It's so perfect." And I
Yeah.
was supposed to get that because it was perfect.
Mm.
You know, I mean, it didn't look like anything, but it sounded amazing. So I would recommend stripping it.
Yeah.
Highly
Well, yeah,
recommend stripping it.
And you said the US ones are nitro finish?
US ones are nitro finish.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you do one clear coat of nitro,
Yeah.
it ends up looking like the bass player from the Gong Show. It's fine. He was cool. Like, I don't know who that dude was, but he played his butt off.
I love
So
the
we're gonna
Gong
have to
Show.
look him up now too. We're gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, I
Dude,
can't
the
remember
Gong
his-
Show was one of the best things ever, man.
That
Chuck
house
Barris.
band was rocking. Did you ever read Chuck Barris's?
I saw the movie.
No.
about him.
He had another was it not an autobiography? It was the Cinderella Show, or I read it like years ago in the early '80s.
I mean-
Yeah, there was another book before
Yeah.
something of a conscious.
Didn't
of
he
a
say he
conscious
was
mind.
he was
A
like
CIA agent?
Yes.
Like that. Yeah.
you know,
Like, he was all these different things. I love it, man. It's so awesome.
But there's a book before that that's a fantastic read. I just can't
Okay.
remember what it is right now.
imagine
Okay.
him as your neighbor. Imagine Chuck.
What, spitting all the time?
Just imagine if it, like Chuck Barris was your neighbor, right? You know what I mean? Like that would be interesting.
That'd probably be really funny.
Fun. Lots of crazy
It's
parties.
like having Carl Reiner as your neighbor.
Oh, man. Those guys. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Well, like, hey Reggie, tell us your socials. Where can everyone find you, man?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like online or?
Yeah, on the line, on the interwebs.
Oh, on those webs.
On those webs, I'll put it. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, my nephew runs my Instagram page.
Okay.
So occasionally I'll send him some content if he really bugs me about it. And I know there's a Facebook fan page, but I seldom deal with any of that stuff. I know I should.
All
You know,
right.
my daughter was doing it for a while, and my nephew
Cool.
was doing it. But I
I'll-
know I'll have to.
I'll search it out and I'll put the Instagram and I'll put the Facebook. Do you have a and website also? You have ReggieHamilton.com?
Redoing it. So
Okay.
it was old, and somebody else did the type. It's like the bass player's bass player. It was like really cheesy. It was like,
That's
You know.
okay. It just needs a little revamping, but I'll put the link and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
it needs
man.
it needs a master vamp.
Oh, that's funny.
So
Well,
I'll get that done and stuff like that. But
You're working, so you don't give a shit.
yeah,
you're working.
that's it.
That's
I'm
it.
working.
I've been there.
I'm working. He's like, I'm not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about Jonathan's 5-string with a 32-inch scale, 24 frets.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up a couple of pictures here.
Well, your Hilton is 32. Your Hilton's a short
32 as well.
Yeah.
And I selfishly did that so GHS would be forced to make a medium scale 5-string set.
I
So
love
that
it.
one,
32-inch scale.
that one's right here, Reggie.
Oh, that's sexy. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is mahogany body, walnut top, and everything, and actually it's a mahogany neck
Oh, nice.
too. So and then Kent Armstrong pickups, Aguilar OBP3.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, Federa's actually doing a 32-inch scale headless for me right now.
Really?
Oh, that-
Yeah,
Wow.
for travel sake. And I'll do
Wow, that's
2J pickups.
Oh, nice.
Believe it or not.
All you short scale guys, it makes me nervous.
Well, I have a 36-inch scale Federa 12-string as well.
Whoa.
Now
It's,
we're talking.
I don't know if it weighs 20 pounds, literally.
So
Oh,
that's
there
what
it
the
is,
new
Reggie.
one will
There's
look
the-
like.
It's let me see. Oh, that's pretty.
That's
Yeah.
Love it, John. That is
That'd be fun to play.
So is your 12 string 3 doubled up?
No, it's a double 6.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no.
It's, let me see if I have it.
I
That
love it,
sounds
man.
like a beast.
It's well, I mean, my 5-string upright is a beast too.
Oh man, for sure.
Woo!
There you go.
Wow. Is that a full size? Is that a 4/4?
It's a 7/8.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah,
a big 7/8.
that's big. Yeah.
Let's see. No.
And you said that one, is that one a Romanian? Like a Kolstein brought over?
No. That's Italian.
That's Italian, okay.
It's Italian made with quilted poplar.
Ooh, nice.
It's a really gorgeous bass.
Mm.
That's
Woo!
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
yeah. It sounds amazing. So it's an Anthony Jackson presentation in a 12-string,
Yeah.
and that's my other.
Oh,
So,
I love it.
Wow.
yeah, no, nothing on there.
I love it. Nothing on there, just
Just
hands.
play the bass.
Make
Yep.
it sound the way it sounds.
Play the bass.
Well, you gotta, I mean, Federa, Ken Smith, Carl Thompson, I mean, those guys were like, along with the SWR guys, I mean, these are
yeah,
just monumental in our instruments growing. And those guys were like, I have a 1990 Ken Smith BT 5.
oh yeah,
And it just, those are the guys that we have to thank, Anthony Jackson and the likes for
Jimmy
stuff
Johnson.
for stuff that we
Stanley.
can just
Bias we have. We can't-
Michael
Mike.
Tobias. Yeah.
Mike.
So
the Godfather, they call him,
these,
right?
yeah. I mean, all these guys are like the godfathers, like paved the way that innovated for what we have now that is everywhere. I mean, now you can get these cheapy, whatever court. I don't know,
Or there's the Korean copies now. There's like
Yes.
Korean copies of Federers and Ken Smiths.
Mhm.
It's something that Trev Wilkinson's working on. I mean, it's admirable that people can get those instruments that could normally afford them.
Yeah.
The drag is it's like you're infringing on somebody's,
You're right.
And
there's always, yeah. And there's always going to be that struggle where, I can get a $200 Federa, but it's not. it's crap.
It definitely takes some work to make it into something.
Yeah.
It's like, come up with your own idea instead of ripping off.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a drag for me because I've known Ken Smith a long time, and I knew Vinny and Joey working for them, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, who do you want a clone of you walking around for like $200? Like, yeah,
It's like multiplicity.
yeah.
It's the more clones you get, the more the worse that they get.
the worse it all gets.
Yeah.
You open up a dark glass that says "Make your own shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The battle.
Well, Jimmy Capolo, Oliva Capolo, he's one of the guys. I mean, he's just a master luthier, and
He's making the bass his way.
yeah. And he puts on there, has little encryptions and stuff where like basically make your own shit. Like, come up with something. So
Yeah,
thankfully,
I'm a big fan of that. Yeah.
yeah. So
That's
nice.
why I like Pete.
Dude, Pete's the best, man. Anything we can all do to help that guy, man. He's
You guys know Cush Audio makes they make a Ready plug-in and they make a Hammer plug-in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Very cool.
something to check out as well for anybody that's listening in.
KUSH?
Yeah.
Cush Audio. Okay. Nice. Are they in California? It almost sounds like
Gee,
G.
I don't know.
Humboldt County or something like that. Oh man,
But they make great stuff.
that's cool. We'll check them out, man.
Yeah.
But I think this has been incredible, Reggie.
Oh man, thanks for
very
having me.
I-
I'm absolute gas.
this is fun.
Now
So-
we've all got a listening list too of all these awesome
Dude.
classical bassists to
Oh
check.
gosh, there's
I have
so much
homework.
stuff.
There's
Yeah.
so much.
There's so much music out there. There's so much stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Reggie, do you are you I'm sure Robert Glasper?
I like Glasper.
Man,
Derek.
Derek.
Yeah,
Derek Hodge.
he's a good guy.
That when I heard the live version of Teen Spirit, I still,
And Derek is an awesome orchestral player as well.
yes, he's incredible. Yeah,
He's
he's
just
done
an incredible bass player.
he's done a couple of things with Robert Glasper where they just duets, double bass and piano, and it's just like just next level. Anyways, sorry, not to.
Oh yeah, no. Derek is awesome. I've
Yeah.
known him a while.
Yeah.
Before he was doing Glasper, at first there was a Queen Latifah tour that I couldn't do, and so Hodge started doing it, and then I would
Wow.
sub for Hodge on it.
That's cool, man.
I think
He's
there's so
talented.
much to talk about with Reggie that we have to have him on again sometime.
We got to have you on again, Reggie. Yeah.
Sure, we'll talk about completely different stuff next time.
Yes.
Amen.
All right, guys. Well, at this time, we stop recording, but we stay on. So don't hang up because we still talk crap. But Big Bottom Crew, Reggie, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me. It's a
All right.
pleasure.
We'll see you next time. Hold on a second.